that. And Coral Springs had that ordinance.
Whoops. Yeah, West Palm, Black Palm. Yeah.
I think Mac is still on vacation.
Oh, okay.
Anyone know? Is Mac supposed to be here? Dan? Do you know if Mayor Bernard's supposed to be here? Okay. Cool. All right, I'll call this Solid Waste Authority Board regular meeting of August 28th, 2019 at 9 a.m. to order. Will the clerk please call the roll call?
Vice Mayor Dave Kerner,
Present.
Commissioner Weinroth,
Present.
Commissioner Weiss,
Here.
Commissioner Valche,
Here.
Commissioner Berger. Here. Commissioner McKinley, Mayor Bernard. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll call on our Executive Director to lead us in the invocation and Commissioner Weinroth to lead us in the pledge.
We ask you, God, to bless this meeting of people who earnestly desire to do their work in the best possible way, to benefit those we serve, and to leave to our children a better world. Please give us the wisdom and vision to plan adequately and act correctly to achieve these ends. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. On to agenda item number 2, additions and deletions. Mr. Pelowitz, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda?
We have supplemental information for item 7.1. That's the consulting engineer's review of the budget and approval of it in accordance with the indenture.
All right, and no other additions or deletions, so I'll take a motion on the agenda as amended.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Berger, seconded by Commissioner Weinroth. All in favor? All opposed? Item 2 passes 6-0 with Mayor Bernard excused absence. Item number 3, minutes of the June 19th, 2019 board meeting.
Moved as submitted.
A motion by Commissioner Weinroth, seconded by Commissioner Weiss. All in favor? All opposed? Item 3 passes 6-0. Item number 4, Citizens Advisory Committee, August 2001, 2019. We've had a chance to review these. Can I have a motion to receive and file? A motion by Commissioner Berger, seconded by Commissioner Weinroth. All in favor? All opposed? That item passes 6-0. On to the recommended consent agenda, item number 5. Would any commissioner like to pull an item from the consent agenda? Any discussions or dialogue? Any motions?
Move recommended consent agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Weinroth to pass the recommended consent agenda, seconded by Commissioner Weiss. All in favor? All opposed? That item passes 6-0. On to matters by the public. Do we have any cards submitted?
Nothing here.
Nobody wants to petition their public officials today? All right. Agenda item number 7, public hearing and workshop. Item 7.1, the proposed 2019-2020 budget. Turn it over to Mr. DeMars.
Good morning, Chair and other board members. Staff is really pleased to present this proposed 2019-2020 budget for the board's approval. Just looking back at the changes since June, staff included an increase in the tip fee revenue, mainly due to a proposed increase in the passenger tire tip fee rate from $35 a ton to $55 a ton for 2020 budget. Also, we've included $250,000, added it to the $500,000 from June, and so we're proposing for the Blighted Grant Program, $750,000. In June, also, we had the single-family rate at $175, and it remains the same. The multifamily and mobile home residential disposal rates actually decreased by $1. And for commercial low and non-generating generator rates, they remain flat for June. If you recall, in June, the commercial medium and the commercial high was slightly up. We've been able to get that back down, and we're happy to report that both of them are at the same rate that was in 2019 in this budget currently. Also, the debt service coverage remains the same. And so staff's recommendation to the board is to adopt the budget, approve the assessment and tip fee rates, approve the tip fee rate schedule, and then there are 3 resolutions for adoption, resolution number 2019-4, 2019-5, and 2019-6. And so we would ask that you would read the title into the record for approval.
Thank you for putting together this budget. You guys do an incredible job. Each of the commissioners up here have had an opportunity to sit with the professional staff and senior staff to review the budget and make any inputs. Are there any discussions or questions from the members of the board? I need a light, Commissioner McKinley.
I
don't
need
see
a
the
light, I'm not working.
Commissioner McKinley, you're recognized.
Thank you. I just want to say, I have typically opposed the proposed budget due to the rate increases for the residents in the acreage. I continue to oppose those rate increases. However, there's a tendency to oppose a really great item because you disagree with one thing that's in that item. I'm not going to follow through on those tendencies today. I'm actually going to support this budget. I made the request at our last meeting to increase the budget for the Blighted Grant Program. I think that we all have those issues in our district, and this is a wonderful revenue source for cash-strapped public entities to be able to get rid of the blight in their communities. So because you were able to do that, I am going to go ahead and support the budget today. But I still share my concerns about the rates for the customers in the acreage. Thank you.
Well said. Any other comments by the members of the board?
The recommendations of the staff.
Right. Council, can we take up all of these items in one motion? Or should we do the resolution separately?
I'm of the opinion that you can. However, SWA prefers you to read the resolutions into the record before you do them.
All right, is it all right if we proceed with the first 3 items and then we'll do a motion on each resolution? Is that ideal?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, Commissioner Berger, is that acceptable?
That is acceptable, and I'll move to adopt the budget.
Commissioner Berger has moved to adopt the budget, approve the assessment and tip fee rates, and approve the tip fee rate schedule. It's been seconded by Commissioner Weinroth. No further discussion. All in favor? All opposed? That item passes 6-0. Commissioner Berger has moved to adopt Resolution 2019-04.
Second.
Commissioner Weinroth has seconded that motion. Is that sufficient in terms of notice on the resolution, or shall I read portions?
I'll
of
read
that?
the resolution if you will.
You recognize Executive Director.
Thank you. Resolution number 2019-04, a resolution of the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, Florida, implementing provisions of Solid Waste Authority Resolution 91-26 and Resolution 91-27 and FS 197.3632, establishing mandatory solid waste disposal and collection programs, adopting a schedule of property classifications, adopting rates, defining collection areas, ratifying and adopting the annual non-ad valorem assessment roll, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pelowitz. That motion's been made by Commissioner Berger, seconded by Commissioner Weinroth. All in favor? All opposed? That item passes 6-0. Commissioner Berger has made a motion to adopt Resolution 2019-05. Commissioner Weinroth has seconded that motion. I'll turn it over to the Executive Director.
A resolution number 2019-05, a resolution of the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, Florida, implementing provisions of Solid Waste Authority Resolution 91-26 and 91-27, establishing mandatory solid waste disposal and collection programs, adopting a schedule of property classifications for governmental properties, adopting the annual disposal and collection assessment roll for governmental agencies, providing an effective date.
No further discussion on Resolution 2019-05. All in favor? All opposed? That item passes 6-0. And Commissioner Berger has made a motion to adopt Resolution 2019-06, seconded by Commissioner Weinroth, and I'll turn it over to the Executive Director.
Resolution number 2019-06, a resolution of the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County, Florida, implementing provisions of Solid Waste Authority Resolutions 91-26 and Resolution 91-27, establishing mandatory solid waste disposal and collection programs, ratifying and adopting the annual service charge billing roll, providing payment periods, providing early payment discounts, providing enforcement, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
No further discussion on this item. All in favor, all opposed. Resolution 2019-06 passes 6-0. On to agenda item number 8, old business, none. 9, new business, none. 9B, none. 9C, 9D, none. 9E, engineering and construction services. I'll turn it over now to Mr. Akari.
Good morning. Item 91 is a contract extension for TR South Florida to provide geotechnical engineering services. TR South Florida was selected back in 2016 to provide these services for an initial term of 3 years, and it has an option for a 3-year renewal, and staff is recommending a 3-year option.
Any further discussion on item E1? Any comment cards? Any motions?
Move to authorize the executive director to execute a contract renewal for Tierra South Florida, Inc. for providing professional engineering services subject to legal sufficiency approved by the General Counsel.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Weinroth on agenda item 9E1, seconded by Commissioner Berger. No further discussion. All in favor, all opposed. 9E1 passes 6-0. Now on to item 9E2, extension of agreement 16-604. Mr. Kari?
Yes, item 92 is a contract extension for Arcadis US Inc. to provide professional engineering services pertaining to the authority's waste energy facilities. Arcadis was selected by a CCNA process back in 2016 for an initial term of 3 years, and they have an option for renewal for another 3 years, and staff is recommending a renewal for another 3 years.
Wonderful, thank you. We have no public comment cards. We have no discussion. Any or motions?
Move to authorize the executive director to execute extension of agreement 16-604 between Solid Waste Authority, Palm Beach County, and ARCADIS US Inc. for consulting engineering services related to operational and maintenance of renewable energy facilities number 1 and 2, provided for a 3-year term extension as provided for in the current agreement, subject to legal sufficiency approval by the General Counsel.
We have a motion by Commissioner Weinroth on agenda item 9E2, seconded by Commissioner Berger. No further discussion. All in favor, all opposed. 9E2 passes 6-0. New business, 9F, Plan and Environmental Programs. I'll turn it now over to Mary Beth Morrison.
Good morning, Vice Chair and Commissioners. The next item on the agenda is to authorize the renewal for a yard trash recycling permit to Eastwood Mulch. When the renewal letters went out, the agencies went out and did various inspections. There were some deficiencies. Fire and Code and the Health Department found some minor problems with their pile heights and access road, and there were some site plan issues. The facility has been very diligent in remedying these items. As of last Wednesday, they were back in full compliance with all the fire code issues, the pile heights and access roads. There's still a few remaining items like painting the parking lot striping, some landscape buffer. They have until October 1st of this year to bring these items into compliance, and from my understanding, they're on track with that. We do have a representative from Eastwood Mulch here if you have any questions. Based on all this information and trying to meet the deadlines with the other agency, we're recommending a renewal through February 29th of 2020, another short-term permit renewal.
Thank you, Ms. Morrison. Commissioner Weiss, you're recognized. I don't think our parliamentarian system's working. Now it is.
There you go.
Turn it on?
It was not on. It was plugged in. It was not on. Commissioner Weiss, you're recognized.
Thank you. I just, when I saw this, I have to say I was a little disappointed to see, we've got 3 renewals coming in today, and the fact that we have to have code enforcement involved and going out and reviewing this, and to me, it's disappointing. I know we have partners in this regard, but I just find that, when we're supposedly doing business together, to have to use our resources, county staff to go out there and continue to go out and monitor something is disappointing, and it actually costs the taxpayers, in that regard. And I know I read the report coming back from the advisory committee. They were not they were recommending this come back, I believe, in October. And curious as to why you don't agree with them.
Well, the reason why we picked February is because they have a compliance deadline with the county code enforcement for October 1st. To meet that deadline and to prepare board memos, they would have to be back into compliance early, right about now. The challenge we've been facing in renewing these permits is coordinating with the different agencies. Typically, with Rule 1, our mission for a solid waste authority is to focus on the solid waste issues, how they're operating the material, odors, noise, or dust. When we get into the code issues, we leave that up to the different agencies. So what's been happening is code, because they're shorthanded, will go out to sites with there's a complaint or when they get our permit renewal letter. So sometimes the deficiencies are being found, but it's not enough time to match up with the permit renewal process. So we picked February to match up with the deadline that they were given. You're certainly welcome to change that to October. It's just we don't know if the facility will be done with all those site plan issues. They have to do some landscape buffer. They have to repaint the parking lot and stripe it. That could be, I don't know how long that'll take. I don't know if Eastwood could fill us in on that, where they are with that.
But in this packet, we had there's a total of 3 application renewals, right? And only one had deficiencies. The other 2 came in with no issues, correct?
Well, waste management, which is next item on the agenda, had a few, and then the next one on the agenda is a brand new renewal contract.
I'm sorry, I must have missed that.
But that's been our challenge with this program overall, is to do some coordination with the other agencies, maybe to get the information sooner than later, that if there are deficiencies with code or site plans, that we can work with the facility sooner than later.
If somebody from Eastwood is here, be happy to hear from them on what they're doing,
Okay.
what they're planning.
Sure, we'll call up a representative. Understand that you're free to speak at your will or not. This is a permit renewal issue, and we're not going to cross-examine you or anything. I understand through Ms. Morrison that you can come on up, please, that you're coming into compliance and there's steady progress from what I understand, which is what the overall intent of code enforcement is, so we appreciate those efforts. But, sir, you're recognized, or if any of the commissioners have any questions. Commissioner Weiss, you recognized?
Thank you. Do you know when you're going to come into compliance?
Can you turn on the microphone, please?
We were just looking to meet the deadlines. I don't have an exact date right now, but striping and the rest of the issues we would probably take a little bit to get taken care of.
So, but I think, code is asking, I think, for October, is that correct?
Yeah.
But you don't think you're going to bring it up into compliance by October?
I don't see that being an issue at all.
Oh, okay.
Is it the code enforcement that's looking for resolution by October, or is it just the permanent application renewal process that concludes?
No, code put a deadline on them to get back into compliance with the site plan issues for October 1st.
If there's not compliance, I assume that the county will go through with the citing and finding of.
Yeah, then they
property.
usually go to the magistrate or the facility could go back in and ask for an extension. So could give them an extension. It just depends. So what's been happening is we're trying to renew these permits kind of on a moving target sometime, because we recognize the other agencies' concerns. We don't want to diminish them. At the same time, it becomes challenging to coordinate this, and that's why you keep seeing some of these issues. My goal is to make sure that it would be nice that if the facilities could be in compliance with everything at all times, but that's sometimes challenging. But I think we've discussed internally trying to improve the program, to do a little better coordination with code and zoning.
so that they,
Sorry, go ahead.
that's okay. So that they'll come out a little sooner prior to the permit renewal and.
Yeah, what we may want to do, because if we issue the letters too soon, if, let's say we go 6 months out, well, deficiencies could happen if they send their letters. So what we're thinking is maybe doing a pre-inspection, just to get an idea of what it is, and then as it gets closer to the renewal date, issue the formal letter to the agencies. That way, everybody's kind of informed and stays involved.
Is what we're asking, and feel free if you don't want to answer this question, but if what is being asked and required, is that, do you guys think that's reasonable?
I mean, we've been operating this facility for a very long time. I don't recall striping ever being an issue. So it just kind of,
What
a
about the
month
issue
ago,
with
2
like the
months ago.
piles? I mean, the piles and the clearances, required, I think, and there was also an issue, I think, with a fire extinguisher and
yeah, I mean, fire extinguishers, we just need to be on top of. We do have a partner with agency that does that. With the piles, we are operating in extremely tight tolerances, and really it's just enough to get a piece of equipment through the roads. So it can be difficult at times to manage. We don't ever get egregiously out of the height restrictions or the roads, but that it's a mulching facility, so it's the constant rain with the roads. It makes it difficult, but it is constant work just to stay in compliance. So we really appreciate guys coming out and making sure, and we do whatever we can to comply with it. But it gets difficult, the tight tolerances on our site plan.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead today and support moving this forward, but I just ask that you all work hard and make sure that you stay in compliance and that we don't have to continue to send code out there and utilize these resources. I know it's a tough job. I know it's very necessary here in the work that you all do, but it also it's disappointing to see that we've got compliance issues and then we have to utilize additional resources to
I
follow up.
understand.
And
We'll be more diligent.
appreciate it.
Thank you. And if I understand correctly, the deficiencies related to code only and nothing related to the Solid Waste Authority regulations. All right, well, and just so the public knows, if you're watching on TV, the reference was made to 2 dissenting votes by our Citizens Advisory Council, which reviews every item before it gets to the board of the Solid Waste Authority Board, and 2 members voted no. We appreciate their service. We review their votes on every item. And on this occasion, I think we've worked through the problem. So are there any further questions or dialogue, or is there a motion?
Move to authorize renewal of the operating permit FM 0060 VR00 to Eastwood Mulch Inc. for yard trash recycling facility through February 29, 2020.
And we have a motion on item 9F1 from Commissioner Weinroth, seconded by Commissioner Weiss. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? That item passes 6-0. Thank you, sir, for your appearance here today.
Yep, thank you.
On to item number 9.2.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is to authorize the renewal of an operating permit to Waste Management for construction demolition debris and yard trash recycling. This is located off Wallace Road. We're recommending a permit renewal through the end of February of 2020. Just to back up a little bit, last year we renewed this permit administratively. When it went through the review process, there were some minor items that code had documented, but they said they were minor, so we gave it to Mark Hammond to sign. But then the county issued an NOV after we issued the permit. So right now, Waste Management is working on those items. They're back into compliance. They have one remaining item to deal with a structure, and that's why it's being brought today as a agenda item. So based on that schedule, they have until January 17th to resolve their code items. So we're recommending a renewal through February 29th, 2020. And again, these are code issues, the solid waste issues they've been in compliance with. And that's our main focus is on the solid waste aspect of items. But code and zoning do play a part of it too.
Commissioner Weiss, you recognized?
Yes, we have a representative from Waste Management here, and
Good morning, Ms. Smith. You recognized?
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. I'm Ellen Smith with Waste Management. Joining me is Lisa Revis, a consulting land use attorney. We acquired this property and have been working through the existing code problems from our acquisition. We've unpeeled the layers of the onion, and there's one item left regarding a certificate of occupancy for a mobile unit, which we expect to obtain in the next 30 to 60 days. And if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
understand. And appreciate you guys acquiring the property and bringing it into compliance for the county.
Commissioner McKinley, you recognized?
Thank you. Actually, the representatives answered my questions, so with that, I'll go ahead and move approval of item 9F2.
We have a motion by Commissioner McKinley on item 9F2, seconded by Commissioner Berger. No further discussion. All in favor, all opposed. Item 9F2 passes 6-0. On to item 9F3. Ms. Morrison, you're recognized.
Okay. The next item is to authorize the executive director to enter into a contract with Coastal of Broward County to handle Palm Beach County waste, construction and demolition debris. And this is a brand-new contract, and they have all their permits, they have their performance bond, they have all the items needed to move forward with entering into this agreement.
Very good. Any inquiries, Commissioner Weiss? Any discussion, motions?
Move approval of item 9F3.
Motion by Commissioner McKinley on item 9F3, seconded by Commissioner Mary Lou Berger. No further discussion. All in favor, all opposed. 9F3 passes 6-0. Thank you very much, Ms. Morrison. Item 9G, financial management, none. 10, other scheduled matters, none. 11, comments by general counsel.
None, thank you.
Item 12, comments by the authority staff. Mr. Pelowitz.
Yes, I would just like to mention the fact that we do have a storm that's in the box out there right now. Although the current tracking looks like we may be spared from this one. It looks like it's going a little farther north, but we can never be too careful, and we just encourage everybody that now is not the time to be cutting down trees and putting a bunch of, clearing out a house and putting that material at the curb. While it looks like we're not going to be hit, it puts a big strain on our collection operations, and when folks do that, there is absolutely no way we have the ability to pick it all up. So I just encourage people to take a break, and if it's attached to a tree now, leave it there, and take care of it next week. Thanks.
Very wise words. Any other comments by authority staff? Moving now to item 13, comments by the board. We'll start with Commissioner Weinroth.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Pelowitz, I was going to ask you for an update on the transition going into our new contracts in October. Do we have, we're going to have some new companies coming on board. I'm assuming there's going to be transitional issues as far as personnel, as far as companies staffing up to be ready for the new contracts. Do we have a plan B if something doesn't happen according to schedule and one of our vendors does not have the adequate staff on board to be able to start the contracts as they've committed to so far?
Actually, we do. First of all, the contract requires that the haulers that are coming in meet certain milestones, and our excellent CIS staff, John and his folks, are on top of it to ensure that they're meeting all of those milestones in terms of having the sites available, having the equipment ordered, having the personnel hired, all of that. So we do have some requirements in the contract in advance of the service to ensure that they do that. Second, John has worked with both Waste Management and Republic, and we do have assurances from them that in the event that they're needed, that there are backup resources available. So I believe we do. and we will take advantage of all available equipment that's out there under those circumstances. We're highly confident, obviously, in Service Areas 1 and 2. The incumbent haulers won, and there should not be too many issues there. We are having some issues with personnel jumping from one company to another. That happens in these contracts, and we certainly are on top of, and John is on top of the haulers and making sure they have the resources available to step in and do that. But I'm confident that everything's going to go smoothly. We are getting a number of calls as it relates to the delivery of the carts, which have gone out, and more than 40,000 have been delivered already. We've got about 200,000 to deliver. So it's going to be a busy couple of months. As with every startup, there are going to be issues, but John and his staff are exceptional. They're skilled at this. We've done this many, many times, and I'm confident that we're going to be very successful in the end.
Great. I'm happy to hear that you're confident. Are we following up with the vendors as far as their meeting certain criteria as far as their staffing to make sure that they're not just hoping that they're going to be there on the delivery date?
Yes, we are. We're following up with them regularly. That's a big topic of conversation right now, is making sure that everyone has the personnel and resources available to do the job.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything further, Commissioner Weinroth? Commissioner Weiss, you recognized?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate to the folks that are watching right now, I mean, we show up in the cone of probability still, so now is not the time to, if you're thinking about you're not going to get prepared, that you need to think about being prepared, and you should start now. And just reiterating what the administrator said in regards to leaving waste out. I know we helped, we transmitted your message back out into our Facebook and Twitter feed, and it'll be going out in a newsletter we're putting out as well. But yeah, people need to be prepared, see, and hope for the best.
Thank you, Commissioner Weiss. Commissioner Balashay, you recognized?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to Commissioner Weinroth's comments, I would add that I think we have some pretty serious liquidated damage provisions in our contracts. So, there's quite a bit of financial incentive for these companies to be ready and to be performing on the day the contract starts, or else it costs them. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Balashay. Commissioner Mary Lou Berger, any comments? And Commissioner McKinley.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to Mr. Pelowitz and to your team. I reached out to you late last night about the recent report from the Florida Department of Health and their inspections of the Okeechobee Center that's operated by the Belgrade Housing Authority. And those reports highlighted some pickup issues. I look forward to doing some education efforts and working with those residents that they need to bring items to the curb, not leave them in their backyard or by their front door. But I want to thank you, especially in light of this slight possibility that we could be hit by a storm, of getting your teams and our contractors out there today to pick up those items that were highlighted in that report. And I just want to thank you for helping me get information to our federal partners in a timely fashion. You guys have been great to work with, so thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner McKinley, and I'll just close by thanking Mr. Pelowitz and your staff for the great work that you guys do for the citizens of Palm Beach County. We voted on the budget today. It's a very well-run, very efficiently run authority that you have here, and we appreciate all the hard work that you put into it for our residents. So with that said, I don't see any further business. Everyone have a safe week, and let me just confirm item 14, confirmation of meeting dates. The next item, the next meeting of the Solid Waste Authority will be on Wednesday, October 16th, 2019 at 9 a.m. Here in these commission chambers. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.